So today, things continue to fall into place with moving. I will no longer accept a high dose of microwaves for my body. If that's what you want, you can have it. You're getting it. You are. Today. And it'll continue tomorrow. The high flu rates that are being reported in, 45 states with more than the number of cases so far that are the highest in 25 years should be alarming, and it is. But radio wave sickness has the exact same symptoms. It would be like if epilepsy and multiple sclerosis had the same symptoms, and doctors said, it's this, and completely ignoring the science and truth about radiation and discounting it because the industry has told us it is safe. That's like the cigarette industry saying, no, it doesn't cause lung cancer, when it does. There's a lot more information on the internet about microwaves being safe. And it would be pretty disastrous for the news, which is a money-making company. It's a show. It's a television show. And just like you can cry watching a movie or laugh, or feel sad or encouraged or inspired, you're being manipulated. And our government is responsible for that manipulation with a purpose in mind. When Snowden came out with his revealing of the stealing of data in a phone with a specific number to it, it is the same thing as your body. It's the exact same thing. And countries are not reporting flu, radio wave sickness, statistics to the only global health organization that's supposed to keep track of flu, radio wave sickness. You see, when you go into the doctor's office, they address the symptoms. It would be like if you go into a restaurant and a hamburger and pizza were the same thing. They're two different things. And not identifying the correct cause is the shame of our nation. Because we're pushing 5G onto other countries. We are funding their operation because we have so much money of our own. So when your dad, when you were younger, said to you, well, if you want that new bike, you've got to do this, this, and this first, and then you can have a bike. It's the same thing. Why do they want us to have a wireless world? To know everything about you everywhere you are. Remote neural monitoring could geolocate every trafficked individual, every kidnapped child, and the military's not finding them. If they've got the technology, why are they not using it for good? With our own people. You need to understand that our Earth has been expanding since its creation. It's become a bigger and bigger planet because of life. When living things die, they become part of the Earth. And the genetic code that has been passed down from the beginning is now being altered and broken. Animals can't tell you, I'm really hot, but thermal effects and heating happen with a high dose. And when I look at my options for my future, it's to be around the lowest dose possible. And that's the keys. Unless they start putting towers out in the middle of the coral reefs, and I doubt that very likely. They can put up a tower anywhere. And when I came back to Columbus, after traveling 44,000 miles, to spread the word, I was shocked. And I'm still shocked. You can't go anywhere in the city and not see 2 or 3 at a time. And the big, tall ones that are skinny, that have nothing on them now. What do you think's going to go on those? And they'll do it after they scare the living daylights out of us with something fake, something created to make you afraid, to control you, to give up your land for fear. Today is not the day to be afraid. It's a day to come together and to be honest. Because the more the people call something something else, we're all paying the price. And our kids who are being born today are more susceptible to a high dose. Everybody says, oh, science will fix it. Medical breakthroughs. You know what? Let me give you an analogy on that. UFO, UFO, UFO. Whoop, let's see what's going on in the Earth today. In comes the military. And then they go like this. Nothing there. No. NASA has sent things out. There's nothing there. NASA says, nope. Nothing on the moon. Nothing on Mars. They're ancient ruins. And to control the population and to keep you from getting Social Security, because that's an expense that the government doesn't want to pay. What do? They go like this. This is the sickest part. This is the pharmaceutical industry. They quietly go to the pharmaceutical company and they go, this is a new discovery. And then they come out with a medical breakthrough. And they say, you want to live? Pay up. Pay us money. But we can't afford it. We're already struggling and health insurance won't cover it. Too bad. It's money. And before the population, which is already decreasing in this country, everything's going to get sick. And everything's going to die while the rest of 200-year-old technology that's more advanced than what we have today remains hidden. Because NASA says, we haven't found anything. Nope. That's my 2 cents. With all the information I've done research on, with all of the focus necessary to put all the pieces together. Doctors are only going to tell you what state agencies in the profession say is true, they're not going to tell us the truth. If they don't go with guidelines and approved things in the industry, those people lose their license to practice medicine. It's what happened with COVID, with the vaccine. Do you remember? It wasn't that long ago. Medical doctors that went against the industry could no longer have a career. And why is there so much information about it being safe? Because our government has money. And they say to Harvard, Yale, UCLA, UC Berkeley, Ohio State, with Patel, that does mind control technology. And that same technology is given out to private security companies. And the government gives money to the industry and says, shh, don't tell anybody, because it's illegal. But they don't say that. They say, yes, it is legal. And why did they do that? Because it's what the government says. It's a game of Simon Says. And if you don't do or say what Simon says, you're out. Our government does not want to accept reality. They're delusional. They really are. What I can't understand is why I'm the only one that's been able to put all these pieces together and am completely dismissed, not believed, not supported. I am an intelligent man. There's nothing wrong with my brain. There's nothing wrong with my thinking. There's something wrong with what you believe is the truth. It is time to wake up. The sooner the better. Because each day moving forward, and this is the government plan, it's going to be too late. And everybody's going to need genetic therapy. And what the pharmaceutical industry doesn't fix, society's just going to have to learn to live with. Like they say, COVID. We're going to have to learn to live with it. The flu. We could all have free energy. We could all have perfect health. And we could all live longer, happier, more productive lives, knowing our connection to the great outdoors, which looks blank. I can't see any stars here in Columbus or in Delaware. But it was cloudy last night. I'll look again tonight. When you have a big, bright light above your head, you can't see beyond it. If a car were approaching you with its headlights, can you see anything behind the lights? No, you just see the lights. "20 minutes is long enough. 21 minutes. I've got a lot more to tell. And I'm not afraid to share it. So that we can all live more happily and cooperatively. We need to start by truly caring about the well-being of others. And sabotage, trickery, lying, manipulating, controlling, dominating is not the way that we were designed as people. If you choose to be evil, you only have God to have an issue with. You don't see aggression in the animal kingdom except for survival. Well, we don't need to fight to survive today. We have cars and planes and connectivity. We have all of these things. We can go outside of our door and get whatever we want with money. Within walking distance, most of us. We live in a land of ease. And people are still trying to keep other people down. They're trying to make it difficult for them to survive. That's not anything morally or ethically that I'm about. I wouldn't spend 22 years of my life teaching the future leaders of our nation and having faith and hope that they'll get by in life and they'll have a better life than the one their parents did.